Welcome to the first episode of the Philly Sports Podcast on SCG Sports Gaming Channel. Brandon G here with you. We got a lot to talk about. Gonna get into the Eagles. Definitely gonna get into the 76ers as well. Joel Embiid. Everything. This is the first episode. I'll try to put a couple of shows, probably 2 shows a week if I can. At least you're going to get one out of me every week. But if I can get more than one, I will gladly do so. But we're here to talk about Philly sports. We're not going to filter anything. We're going to tell the truth here. We're going to tell the truth. We're going to tell like it is. We're going to give you straight facts, no agendas, just truth all year going into the new year 2024. We going in today. We're going in all next year. And we're about holding people accountable when they need to be held accountable. Now, first things we're going to get into, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm still going to do gameplay. That's not going to stop. I'm not going to do a whole lot of voiceovers like I normally do. Have a 6-month-old, had a baby in June, so it's kind of hard to really, focus on doing voiceovers and you got a baby sitting there crying. But you will see recorded gameplay of the Sixers, Flyers, Eagles, Madden. You'll still see it. I'm not going to do a lot of voiceover gameplay. That's going to start phasing out sooner than later. But, just subscribe. More likes, suggestions, hit me an email. Put my Cash App in there if you want to donate to the channel, you want to better the channel, please. Donations are welcome. I'm not going to ask you for donations. I'm not going to ridicule you if you don't give donations. But if you want to show some love, hey, by all means, do so. Everything will be in the description box and it will be in the pinned comment section. But first order of business, we're going to talk about the Eagles. Now, the Eagles have lost 3 straight games. And everybody is panicking. And there is cause for concern. There is cause for concern. And, people overreact. And I said this before, and I put it on Twitter. There is a chance that the Eagles could lose out their remaining games. And a lot of people say, well, how can you say that? It could happen. Because I believe that the Eagles have reached their peak against the Buffalo Bills. Now, I'm going to give a reminder in their last 3 games how this team did. Now, after the Bills game, which they lost 37-34, they got beat by the 49ers 42-19, 33-13, and they lost to Seattle 20-17 on a late touchdown. My thing is, what is James Bradbury doing? I mean, this guy is just cooked. I mean, what was he doing out there? Going to get beat by a rookie wide receiver. He got beat. And on most of those, and they converted third downs after third downs at that 92-yard drive, and Bradbury was the recipient of most of them. The recipient of most of them. Now, as I go through the schedule, because I like to bring context to everything I talk about, a lot of people say the Eagles, they give up 40 points a game, they gave up 35 points a game. Okay, I'm going to read you from the first game to the last game, and I'm going to go through this. Okay, the Eagles beat the Patriots in their first game 25-20. They gave up 28 points to Minnesota. They gave up 11 points to Tampa Bay. Okay, the first time giving up 31 points to the Commanders. They gave up 31 points to the Commanders. The Eagles won that in overtime. 14 points they gave up to the Rams. 20 points they gave up to the Jets. 17 points they gave up to the Dolphins. Then the Commanders, they gave up 31 points. I don't know. The Commanders must got their nerves, but the Eagles came out on top. Dallas, they gave up 23 points. Kansas City, they gave up 17. So this team doesn't give up 40 or 30 points a game. There was stretches where the team gave up 28, 20, and they gave up 20 to the Seahawks last Monday night. Now, I'm going to get to the record. And the Eagles are 10-4. They're the 5th seed right now in the playoff picture. So they will be going on the road if the playoffs started today. I can make an argument right now. The Eagles are 10-4. I can make this argument right now that the Patriots, the Commanders again, the Dallas Cowboys, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills. I can make the case that the Eagles should be 5-9, 6-8. They could easily be 5-9, 6-8, the way they are because those games could have went either way. The Patriots game, if the guy just stays in bounds, he goes out of bounds. 4th down, Eagles turn the ball over. Washington, the first game against the Commanders, they score. Everybody thought they should have went for 2 to go for the win. That could have been a loss there. We get a look at the Dallas game. If Dak Prescott connects on a 2-point conversion and they don't get penalized, they win. They could have won that game. If Valdez-Scantling makes a catch in the end zone, that could be a loss. If Gabriel Davis and Josh Allen's on the same page, the Bills win that game. So right now, I'm being honest with you, this team is lucky that they're 10-4, not 6-8 or 5-9. Now, Seth Joyner made some comments saying, "Oh, the Eagles are a bad team, one of the worst teams." And look, they're not the worst teams in the NFL. They're not in Carolina's league. They're not the Atlanta Falcons. They're not a bad team. And there are some bad teams in the NFL. There are some bad teams. There are really some bad teams in the league. Now, are the Eagles the Patriots? Are the Eagles the Tennessee Titans? Are the Eagles the Los Angeles Chargers? The Raiders? No. They're a little bit better, but they haven't played better all year. Okay? So, a lot of people complaining, talking about, oh, Nick Sirianni's got to be fired, this, that, and the third. Okay, number one, to say that, that's asinine. Nick Sirianni is not getting fired. I don't know if Brian Johnson's going to be back next year. They changed the defensive coordinator. A lot of speculations with that. But it's just the sense of panic right now that a team that just went to the Super Bowl, all of a sudden, Nick Sirianni done got stupid. Nick Sirianni is an idiot right now. Now, do I believe he's a great coach? No, he's not a great coach. He's a good coach. Not great. He's good. But you're only as good as your players. So if your players play well, the coach is gonna get the credit for it. But if the team falters and if the team starts losing games 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row, the coach is always going to be the fall guy. Remember that. Okay, the coach can be clueless, but if the team's winning 10 and 12, 13 games, the coach is going to look good on the strength of the players. So as I said before, yeah, the players got to go out there. They got to make plays. Now, the coach can say, oh, we got to coach better. We got to do that. Yeah, some blame can be fell on the coach. It could. But they're not going to fire Nick Sirianni after this end of the year. And then you have a lot of people saying, oh, he's a yes man, the Howie Roseman, he's this, that, and the third. I just, in my mind, I hope he's not. Okay? I hope he's not. Jalen Hurts. I am tired of the distraught look. He's always looking down. He looks miserable out there. Honestly, Jalen Hurts looks miserable out on the football field. He acts like he doesn't want to play the game because he's always miserable. He's not having fun. Jalen, it's okay to have fun. You don't have to take the game so seriously. Have some fun out there. Go out there and make plays. Be a leader. You sit there and you question commitment, and then you turn around and say, "Well, I meant we." We know what you meant. You tried to clean it up. Like I said, own what you said. See, I would respect somebody that says, "You know what? I shouldn't have said that. I was angry. I'm not going to take back what I said." We all need to be committed in winning. And right now, we're all not committed. We all have to be on the same page. And that's true. He didn't mention no one's name. He called out his teammates. But right now, this team is not very good. And if they get it and they're in the playoffs, I don't see them winning all but one game. The offense hasn't scored 20 points in 3 games. What's going on with the offense? All of a sudden, the offense got dumb. Players ain't making plays. In that Dallas game, because everybody jumped up and down over that Dallas Cowboys game. The Eagles lost 33-13. The Cowboys were up 24. I think it was 24-10 or 24-6 at halftime. They gave up all of 9 points in that game in the second half. The Eagles had a chance to come back in that game, but turned the ball over and made mistakes. If you look at it, that's a 6-point game. And who knows what would have happened, because they would have had the momentum. When you turn the ball over, it's hard to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over. Jalen Hurts turned it over. Devontae Smith fumbled the ball. A.J. Brown fumbled the ball. That's potential 21 points. Not to mention the touchdown from Jalen Carter. So it's 33-28 at best. With still like a quarter to go. And you might have a chance to pull it out, because the defense played well in the third quarter. They gave up 9 points. But no one talks about that. See, I'm going to talk about everything because we want to create a narrative. Seattle game. Matt Patricia takes over. Everybody's sitting there saying, "Oh, well, Nick Sirianni, he lied. He can't be trusted." He wasn't going to leak it to the media before he told his coaches. He wasn't going to do that. Now, would I have worded it different? I would have said, "You know what? I'm not making any decisions yet. I'm not changing anything yet. You know, I'm going to look at the film as always. And whatever we need to do to get better, I'm going to put it in the best interest of the team to get better. But as of right now, I'm not making any changes." We're good. Eagles gave up 20 points in that game. The only thing was that 92-yard drive at the end to a backup quarterback named Drew Lock. His team, Bradbury got beat. Now, at the end of the year, they have to go out and they gotta get better players. That's on Howie Roseman. If you go in with the same guys, same corners that you have next year, knowing that they're getting older and they done lost a step or two, then yeah, that's on the GM. Or if you're just going to get younger and then try to just hope that they develop. But the goal is not just make the playoffs. You got to a Super Bowl and you was in 3 points of winning it, or 3 points of sending it to overtime if it wasn't for a bad penalty call. The goal is to win a Super Bowl, not make the playoffs. But we'll see what they'll do against the Giants. A lot of people say if they win their last 3 games, but I'm not sure right now. Because the way this team is played is not giving me any confidence that they're going to blow out the Giants. They're not. I don't see it. Now, you come back in about 4 weeks, my mind might change. We'll see. Let's get to the Sixers now. Joel Embiid scoring 30 points a game. 30 points a game. Everybody's hype about the Sixers. Everybody jumping on the Sixer bandwagon. "13 games, 30 points. 13 games. Had a little ankle injury against the Raptors, so we'll see what happens if he'll play Christmas Day or not. You know, you don't need to play. You don't need to play. I know it's a national TV game, but if you're injured, don't risk it. Now, Joel Embiid has done great in those 10 games, scoring 30 points, 30 and 10. Tyrese Maxey has played well. Great. Sixers, Nick Nurse. Looks like he's turned the team around. Great. I don't give a damn about the regular season stats. Sure, Joel might win the MVP again this year. What are you going to do when it comes playoff time? That's what I'm looking for. I need you to get out the second round. Because what happens again, if you dominate the regular season and then you go out in the second round again, it's all for naught. Then at that point, you might have to just cut ties with Joel Embiid and try to rebuild from there. And I'm not saying Joel Embiid is a bad player. He's a talented, great player. But you got to come up big when it's money time. And he has been coming up short in the playoffs for the last 5 to 6 years. He has come up short. And you can't sit here and keep, oh, well, he had a good regular season. He won the MVP. I don't care about MVPs. Get past the second round of the playoffs. Get to the conference finals. At least get to the NBA finals. Go out there and be a leader and be aggressive. That's what I want. So all this talk about, oh, you're tanking? Great. I'm happy for you. They played garbage teams. Teams that are not very good. Okay? I'm not impressed. It's regular season basketball. Come show me in the playoffs. Then we'll have a conversation. But other than that, I'll watch the games. You know, I'll watch it. I'll comment on it. But I'm not jumping up and down waving a championship banner. I got to see results. Well, that'll do it for today's episode of the Philly Sports Podcast. Make sure you click the like button. Make sure you click the subscribe button to get all the notifications of upcoming shows and all the other good stuff that we have on this channel. I'm Brandon G, and I'll see you in the next video.